sorry, a state governor has crossed the red line. The state governor in Benin decided, I didn't measure him, I measured a city. A state governor in Benin refused to swear in. Excuse me.
You are protected. You did not mention the state. You only mentioned Benin.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Benin is not a state.
That's right.
Welcome to Wahala Update. Welcome to Nyama Nyama Update. Adams Oshiomole will be Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Local reports Governor Obaseki to the new Chief Justice of Nigeria for inside the Senate floor. As them they talk to Chief Justice of Nigeria, Adams Oshiomole. Now so if from there take report Obaseki. He can't talk say him no go mention any governor name, but he can't go talk say Benin City. Now from there now him Akpabio will be Senate President talk say Oshiomole never measure any governor name. He say Oshiomole only talk about Benin City, and Benin no be state for Nigeria. All of them know who Oshiomole they talk about, but the whole Senate President can't talk say Oshiomole is protected. Say Oshiomole never measure any governor name. Maybe me go talk and finish. Make una watch the video. But before that, please help us to subscribe to this small YouTube channel. Make it grow. As it grow, it go give us joy to the give una ogbonge wahala update where they happen for Nigeria. My name na Rocky Yusuf.
Oshiomole. I represent the good people of Edo North from Edo State, where my Lord, the acting Chief Judge, did an NYC. Like everybody has said, sir, no one will look at this CV and want to ask questions. And I thought that for those who are in doubt, this training is not an act of favor or punishment. We just want to be alerted as to have a window into the way in which the mind of the next Chief Justice of Nigeria works. So for Kalu, I needed to understand that we are not doing her any favor by saying, take a bow. In any case, that has been settled. I just want to ask one or two questions. You know, my Lord, when we complain of crowded court, the courts only adjudicate based on the judicial confined on it by Parliament. For example, when my case went to court as a governor or governorship dispute, the law then was that cases are terminated at the Court of Appeal. The National Assembly, in its wisdom, chose to remove that bar and said the cases must now terminate at the Supreme Court. So we can't overload the vehicle and then blame the driver for carrying overload. But there are a couple of issues that I believe many of us distinguished senators must be aware of. That depending on the party you belong, at the level of the state judiciaries, people tend to prefer, talking about forum shopping, to file cases before Federal High Court, particularly if it's a case in which you believe the state governor or the state government may have an interest. And how we deal with this, how the Chief Justice of the Federation can encourage judges in the states to show the same level of courage to pronounce where it's so discovered that a state government or a state interest, sorry, a state governor has crossed the red line. That people should feel able to go to a state high court and get justice. I don't want to rush to federal high court because of the fear that judges, in many cases at the state level, don't want to enter judgment that will be offensive to the state executive. That is recently in the state, and for obvious reasons, I won't mention the state. The National Judicial Council approved the appointment of new judges, which is in line with the Constitution. But the state governor in Benin decided, I didn't measure him, I measured a city. The state governor in Benin refused refused to swear in. Excuse me.
You are protected. You did not mention the state. You only mentioned Benin.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Benin is not a state.
That's right. So, as we speak, those judges were not sworn in, even though they have been cleared by the National Judicial Council. When I was a governor, sir, there was a case, a judgment against the Edo State government. But because the governor has immunity, the judge decided to sentence, to convict the Attorney General for contempt of court. So I'm like, if a state governor disobeys a ruling of a superior court, and because the governor has immunity, there is nothing you can do, I would have expected that the Attorney General would be charged for contempt of court or showing disrespect to the National Judicial Council, so that the discretion we exercise should not be abused to the extent that all of the processes that the National Judicial Council goes through to select and approve and forward to the governor for ratification. I am sure, Mr. President, you approve many such recommendations, not necessarily because you like the persons, but in the wisdom of the National Judicial Council, they've cleared them. So I thought that there might be, like to know how, whether a legislation is required or the Supreme Court, being a policy court, what it can do to help to curtail abuse of power at the level of the state.
On the appointment of new judges, the situation where judges have been recommended for appointment and they have not been sworn in that instance, the National Judicial Council has made its position very clear, and it is the National Judicial Council that gives the directive for who should be appointed. And once that is done, there is nothing more for the National Judicial Council to do. It is to the detriment of any state concerned if it is now working with a lower number of judges, and you have capable and already confirmed judges that are not being able to carry out their duties. It is not a matter that the Supreme Court can intervene in unless a matter is brought to the Supreme Court on that issue.